You're not stuck because you're not trying hard enough. You're stuck because you're trying to change your life from the same frequency that created the problem. What no one ever told you is this: there's a gap, a vibrational opening that doesn't respond to logic or time. It responds to your consciousness. And when you learn how to access it, 3 days are enough to start living a completely different reality. What you're about to discover isn't another mental trick. It's a deep energetic repositioning. And if you follow this process with presence and surrender, just for 3 days, you will feel what it means to create from the invisible. Not as a distant desire, but as a new inner foundation so real, so grounded that the world around you will have no choice but to rearrange itself. Because here's the truth: you are already creating all the time. The only question is, from what state are you creating? This video will walk you through a quantum shift, step by step. And when you repeat this energetic movement intentionally for 3 days, you'll notice that what was stuck begins to open. What seemed impossible starts moving toward you. And what once felt like lack becomes flow. Not because you earned it, but because you finally align with what was already yours. There's a version of your life that's playing out on the outside, and then there's a frequency that's silently broadcasting from within you, moment by moment. And that's the one that actually decides. Every thought you repeat, every story you tell, every emotion you sit in, without realizing it, it's all forming a vibration, a pattern, a signal. And that signal is speaking louder than your vision board, louder than your affirmations, even louder than your prayers, if those prayers are built on fear. Because here's the truth: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And what you are is the sum of your dominant frequency. This is why people try so hard to change their lives, only to feel like the same outcomes keep repeating. Different faces, same dynamics. New job, same emptiness. More effort, same wall. But the repetition isn't punishment, it's feedback. Your life is always echoing back the energetic identity you're holding underneath the surface. So the real shift doesn't start by changing the outside. It begins when you get radically honest about what you're radiating right now. Ask yourself, what's the emotional home I return to, even when things are going well? Is it waiting? Is it worry? Is it proving myself? Because that's the frequency that's running your life. Not because you're broken, but because that frequency became familiar. And the subconscious chooses familiar over fulfilling every time, until you consciously interrupt the pattern. This is where the shift begins. You stop trying to manifest from your surface-level desires, and you start observing, gently, honestly, the state of being that's choosing those desires in the first place. Because if your desire comes from lack, it will recreate more lack. If it's rooted in fear, it will pull in more fear. But if it's born from love, from wholeness, from divine knowing, then it will start unfolding with ease. This is not about judging yourself. It's about awakening to the truth. Your entire reality is responding to your inner state. And if you change the broadcast, the results have to change. This is the hidden frequency that's been creating your experiences. And now that you've seen it, you can begin to shift it. But how? That's what we'll do together over the next 3 days. Each day is designed to create a subtle but profound realignment, not with effort, but with awareness, with choice, with vibration. So get ready to step out of the old cycle and into the version of you that's always been waiting. Because when you finally understand the signal you've been sending, you can change the message and watch your whole life respond. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my book, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes. Start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. There's a part of you that's been living on autopilot. It's not your fault. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing frequencies from your parents, your culture, your environment. You were taught what's real, what's possible, what's safe, and without even realizing it, you began to build an identity. Not based on who you are, but based on who you had to become to survive. The achiever, the pleaser, the fixer, the one who's always okay, even when you're not. But here's the problem. Every identity carries a vibration, and every vibration sends out a message. So, when you keep trying to manifest something new from a self-concept built in trauma or scarcity, you're going to keep getting the same energetic outcomes, no matter how good your intentions are. This is why the first day of your quantum shift is not about adding anything. It's about collapsing what's false, letting go of the mask, unplugging from the frequency of survival, and remembering the deeper truth of who you are. Here's how we begin. Step 1. Observe without judgment. Sit with yourself, not as the version trying to change, but as the version who's simply witnessing. Ask, what identity am I still carrying that no longer feels aligned? And don't rush the answer. It might come as a memory, a sentence someone once said, that you never questioned, a behavior you repeat, even when it hurts. Write it down. Name it. Bring it into the light. Because once something is seen clearly, it loses its power to control you unconsciously. Step 2. Use the power of imagination to break the pattern. Neville Goddard taught us this. Imagination is the only redemptive power. You don't shift by fighting the old identity. You shift by imagining something greater and choosing it. Close your eyes and imagine that you're stepping out of a costume, one you've been wearing for years. Feel how heavy it is. Feel the rules it carried. Then visualize yourself placing it on the ground and walking away. You're not fixing anything. You're releasing what was never really yours. Step 3. Speak a new word over yourself. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us that our word is our wand. So speak this. I no longer live from the past. I am choosing a new vibration now. Say it slowly. Say it until something inside you shifts. Because when you speak it with belief, your vibration starts to recode itself. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were before the world told you who to be. Today is about energetic deconstruction. You're pulling out the roots of old beliefs, old agreements, and emotional contracts that no longer serve your becoming. And yes, it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, the frequency is already starting to move, already starting to soften, already beginning to make space for what's next. That's the power of day 1. It's the death of the old vibration. The conscious decision to stop being the person who's always waiting, always proving, always adjusting. You don't have to hustle to shift. You just have to surrender the false. Tomorrow, we build the new. But today, you make space for it to arrive. Now that you've begun to collapse the old identity, there's space. And in that space, you get to choose, consciously, deliberately, who you become. This is where most people go back to sleep. They let the old frequency creep back in. They wait for signs. They wait for proof. But in this quantum field, waiting is just another form of resistance. The real shift happens when you stop waiting and start embodying. Day 2 is about becoming the vibration of your desire before it shows up. Not pretending, not forcing, but feeling your way into the reality that already exists on another frequency. Neville Goddard said it best: assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not hope for it. Assume it, live it, become it now. So here's your practice for day 2. Step 1. Name your desired state. What is it that you want to experience? Not the outer condition, but the inner feeling it would bring. Peace, security, excitement, love. Choose one and bring it close. This is the state you'll embody. Step 2. Enter the scene. Now close your eyes and imagine a single moment from the life where this state is already real. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be you waking up in your dream home, you laughing on the couch with the love of your life, you looking at your bank account and feeling deep peace. Whatever it is, step into it, not as an observer, but as the you who's living it. What do you feel in your body? What's your posture like? What decisions are you making from this state? Now amplify that feeling. Let it rise. Let it move through you. Let it become familiar. Because in this moment, you are not visualizing. You are vibrationally rehearsing your new reality. And that rehearsal is powerful. It tells the subconscious, this is who I am now. It tunes your energy to the outcome, so the outcome has a clear signal to follow. Step 3. Carry it into your day. This is where most people stop. They feel good for 5 minutes and then go back to reacting from the old self. But not you. Today, you carry this state with intention. You ask, how would the version of me who already lives this life walk into this room? What would they say yes to? What would they release? What decisions would they make? Then you act from that place. Because action taken from an aligned state is not effort, it's expression. And this is where the shift begins to anchor. Not in some perfect meditation, but in how you show up moment by moment. Today is about consistency, not perfection. If you drift, you come back. If you forget, you remember. And each time you do, you reinforce the new frequency. This is quantum embodiment. It's not magic, it's spiritual physics. What you embody, you attract. What you live internally, you create externally. So stay in the state. Honor the version of you that's already living the life. and the universe will meet you at your vibration. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my book, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes, start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. This is the part no one talks about. We talk about releasing the past. We talk about stepping into the vision. But what happens after that? What happens when you've touched the frequency of your new life, and then the world around you hasn't caught up yet? This is where most people abandon the shift. They get pulled back into the old story, not because the new one isn't working, but because it's not yet anchored. That's what day 3 is for. Because until your body feels safe in the new vibration, it won't stay. Your nervous system is the gatekeeper of your manifestation. If it's still wired for fear, for doubt, for disappointment, then even the most beautiful vision will feel unfamiliar, unsafe, unreachable. So today, we don't just visualize the new self, we root it. We let it settle in the body. We give it breath. We give it presence. Here's how. Step 1. Ground the frequency in stillness. Sit or lie down. No music. No guidance. Just you and your breath. Bring to mind the state you practiced yesterday. Peace. Power. Joy. Love. Now breathe into it. Slowly. Let each inhale expand the state. Let each exhale release the residue of the old. This is not a performance. This is vibrational digestion. You're telling your body, it's safe to be here now. Step 2. Move from the state, not toward the goal. When you go about your day, don't ask, what do I need to do to get what I want? Ask, what does this state inspire me to do now? This is a shift from chasing to choosing, from seeking to flowing. You're no longer acting to make something happen. You're acting from the version of you for whom it's already real. This subtle shift changes everything. It dissolves anxiety. It strengthens clarity. And it builds momentum without burnout. Step 3. Choose the signal. Again and again. Anchoring isn't a one-time event. It's a daily devotion. Throughout your day, when old thoughts surface, when the old identity tries to pull you back into reaction, into effort, into fear, breathe and return. Not with force, but with compassion. Not to fix, but to remember. Because every time you choose the new signal, even in small moments, you're laying a deeper foundation. You're telling your subconscious, this is who I am now. This is what we choose now. This is home now. And over time, the old identity no longer feels like home. The old reactions lose their grip. The old vibration fades into the background until it's just a memory and nothing more. This is the quantum anchoring. It's not about speed. It's about stability. It's not about doing more. It's about being more consistently. When the shift is in your nervous system, in your tone of voice, in the way you walk into a room, that's when reality bends. That's when manifestation stops being an event and becomes a lifestyle. So today, don't chase the outcome. Nurture the state, hold the vibration, and trust the process, because it's already working. And now, your body knows it too. By day 3, something incredible starts to happen. The inner world softens. The old noise gets quieter. The new vibration begins to feel real. Not just during the practice, but in your body, in your breath, in your everyday energy. And this is where the danger lies. Because just when the shift begins to solidify, the old self gets scared. It whispers, this is too good to be true. Nothing ever really changes. What if I'm just making this up? And if you're not aware, that whisper becomes the signal. Not the truth, not your future, but your frequency. See, the quantum window opens when you align, even for a moment, with a new possibility. But that window is fragile. Not because it's weak, but because you are still learning how to live in the light. You've been conditioned to survive, to expect disappointment, to rehearse problems. So, when joy shows up, it feels unfamiliar. When peace lingers, you flinch. When love comes close, you brace. This isn't sabotage, it's protection. Your system is trying to keep you safe, based on outdated definitions of what safe even means. But here's the key. You don't fight the resistance. You witness it. You say, I see you. I understand you. But I no longer choose from you. This awareness is your power. Because here's what most people do wrong. Mistake number 1. They wait for outer confirmation before locking in the new state. They say, I'll feel abundant when the money comes. I'll feel loved when they text back. But the quantum doesn't work like that. It mirrors you. It follows your state. So if you abandon the new vibration just because the results aren't instant, you're slamming the door shut right as it was about to open. Mistake number 2. They try to do the shift instead of becoming it. They treat the process like a checklist. I meditated. I journaled. I visualized. But if the heart isn't in it, if the state isn't embodied, nothing changes. You can't do your way into a new frequency. You have to live from it. Mistake number 3. They seek permission from the past. They wonder if they're ready, if it's their time, if they deserve it. But these are all distractions. You don't need permission to evolve. You just need alignment. The quantum window doesn't respond to worthiness. It responds to truth, to coherence, to embodiment. So the question is, will you hold the new state, even when the old one calls you back? Will you trust the vibration before it becomes visible? Because that's the test. That's the initiation. That's the difference between a spiritual high and a quantum shift. So the next time fear returns, smile. The next time doubt whispers, listen, then lovingly choose again. The next time nothing seems to be working, remember, you're not here to force change. You're here to become the frequency that invites it in. And that means staying with it, holding it, living from it, until it becomes you. You didn't stumble into this message. You didn't click on this video by accident. And this isn't just a process you're trying. This is a sacred remembering. Because there's a version of you, beneath the conditioning, beneath the coping, beneath the timelines you inherited, who never forgot who you really are. A creator, a vessel of divine intelligence, a living transmission of abundance, peace, and purpose. This version of you has always existed. But until now, they were waiting for your permission to step forward. That's what this shift is. It's not a new identity. It's the real you, finally being allowed to lead. And maybe that feels unfamiliar. Maybe the old part of you is still trying to make sense of it. That's okay. Let the new vibration feel strange for a moment. Let it feel too good, too easy, too loving, because you've spent years adapting to the struggle. But now, you remember, this frequency isn't foreign. It's home. And here's what you need to know. This was always meant for you. The vision, the calling, the desire that won't go away. It's not a fantasy. It's your divine blueprint calling you back. You were never meant to settle. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to vibrate with life, to embody joy before the reason, to live as abundance, not chase it, to walk into rooms carrying the atmosphere of peace, because you are peace. And now that you've felt it, even for a few seconds, you can never fully go back. That's the gift and the responsibility of alignment. Once you know, you cannot unknow. Once you've seen the light, even a flicker, it lives in you. So, what happens now? You walk differently. You speak with intention. You create not to prove your worth, but to express your truth. You are no longer here to be chosen. You are here to radiate, to embody the frequency of someone who remembers. I am not here to chase. I am here to allow. Because the quantum responds to clarity, to conviction, to presence. And when you live from that, not once, but consistently, you become magnetic to everything that matches it. This is not magic. It's alignment. It's law. It's yours. So take a deep breath. This isn't the end of a process. It's the beginning of a new timeline. And that timeline doesn't require force, just frequency, just presence, just you, fully remembered. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming. And you were meant to live this shift. Not someday, but now. This part is where we bring everything home. The goal is to leave the viewer in a deeply reflective, emotionally grounded space, not just inspired, but transformed. We'll close the energetic loop, affirm their shift, and bridge them powerfully into the next evolution of their journey. Take a breath. You've just crossed a vibrational threshold, one that most people never even get close to. You didn't just hear words. You felt a truth rising inside you, a frequency that had been buried, but never lost. And now, it's awake. The past 3 days weren't about changing your circumstances. They were about changing the consciousness that creates your circumstances, about remembering your role as the architect of your own experience, not through willpower, but through alignment. Because what you hold, holds you, and the frequency you embody is the future you magnetize. So if you felt something shift, even quietly, trust it. That gentle opening, that internal yes, that's the signal of your new reality forming beneath the surface. It might not look different yet, but it feels different, and that means everything is already changing. This is the deeper truth. The quantum responds instantly to your energy, even if the evidence arrives in layers. So protect your new state, feed it, Return to it. Make it your home. Let your thoughts follow it. Let your words reflect it. Let your decisions flow from it, not from fear, but from faith. And when the old pattern tries to knock again, because it will, you don't panic. You smile. Because now, you have the awareness to choose differently. You know what to do. You've practiced the shift. You've embodied the frequency. And now, you live from it. This is no longer about waiting for a miracle. It's about realizing you are the miracle. So hold the frequency. Stay in your knowing. Let the world catch up. And when you feel ready to take this even deeper, to explore the frequencies of purpose, prosperity, love, and divine timing, that's where we'll go next. Because your next level isn't something you chase, it's something you align with. And you, beloved soul, are already on the path.